Welcome back to the deep dive. It feels like AI is everywhere these days, doesn't it?
It really does. It's changing how we do, well, almost everything.
Right. Work, connecting with people. But what about something like faith, spiritual growth? It seems like an odd fit at first glance.
Hmm. Maybe not as odd as you'd think.
Mm.
It's actually a really growing area of exploration.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at this really interesting new partnership.
That's right. Between WordUp, who are behind the AI called Logostics, and the Apologist project, who developed Aquinas.
Yeah, two quite innovative groups. And our mission today is to kind of unpack how they're combining these AI chatbots, Logostic and Aquinas.
And why they're doing it now. It's about addressing some pretty significant trends, both societal and spiritual.
Exactly. We want to give you a look at how AI could play a role in faith and specifically why this approach they're taking is seen as, well, safe and ethical, which is obviously a huge concern with AI.
A massive concern. And this partnership, it really didn't just spring up out of nowhere. The Apologist project especially has been looking hard at some, frankly, troubling trends.
Troubling trends, like what?
Well, think about who is engaging with traditional Christianity. We're seeing these big demographic shifts. Pew Research data shows younger adults increasingly stepping away.
Less affiliation with each generation.
Exactly. And it's not just belief, it's actual engagement. Churches are closing faster than opening. Post-pandemic numbers, they're still down. A lot of people are sticking with virtual options or just, drifting.
So the landscape is changing.
Profoundly. You hear the phrase, the mission field is moving online, and that's not an exaggeration anymore. That is the mission field for many.
And I guess that's where the concern about existing AI comes in.
Right. Western society is already being shaped by AI, often pushing more secular viewpoints. There hasn't been a strong, faith-based counter-voice in that specific tech space. And then there are other factors, too. Sometimes non-believers feel pushed away, maybe by approaches that lack compassion, seem judgmental.
Yeah, I can see that.
Plus, there's a noticeable decline in basic biblical knowledge, generation by generation. People get caught up in, let's say, non-essential debates, maybe missing the core message, believers and non-believers alike, sometimes.
Wow, okay. So those trends together really paint a picture of, well, urgency.
Definitely urgency.
So how do Logostics and Aquinas fit into this? Why are they the answer or an answer right now?
Well, it's about meeting that need for new pathways, isn't it? Traditional methods, they're just not connecting with everyone anymore.
Especially online.
Especially online, where people live so much of their lives, get their information. These AIs, they're designed to meet people right there, offer a kind of fresh starting point. Accessible, maybe less intimidating.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's introduce Logostics first. It's the official AI transformation partner for WordUp.
That's one.
And its mission is pretty direct. Be a trustworthy, biblically grounded ambassador for Jesus Christ, the Logos. That's quite a statement for an AI.
It is bold, yeah.
And for you listening, you can actually check out Logostics yourself. Just go to po.com and search for Logostics. That's Logostics.
And that mission flows directly from WordUp to Logos, which is developing these AI tools to help with, spiritual renewal, understanding the Bible, finding reconciliation with God, practical stuff for living a Christian life.
Grounded in the Bible.
Absolutely. Glorifying God, serving people with dignity, compassion, wisdom, and that's the framework.
Yeah.
Every answer Logostics gives is filtered through that biblical worldview, committed to Christian ethics. It's not just spitting out data.
It's about the how as much as the what.
Precisely. The context, the ethics, the values are built in.
You mentioned Logostics having its own DNA. That sounds really core to this. What does that mean practically? How does it work?
Yeah, the DNA is a good way to put it. It's basically their code of ethics and safety protocols. And the key thing is, it's embedded right into the system prompts.
System prompts.
The fundamental instructions that tell the AI how to behave. And this applies to all AI agents or apps built using WordUp services. So if a church builds an AI helper using WordUp, it automatically inherits this ethical foundation.
So it's not optional.
Not at all. It's baked in from the start. It defines how the AI operates.
Okay, so what are some of those defining features?
Well, number one is respect for human dignity. This comes straight from the idea that everyone's made in God's image. So no harmful content, nothing dehumanizing, exploitative, divisive. It's about affirming interactions.
Even with tough topics.
Even then. Then there's clarity about its AI nature and boundaries. Logostics is programmed to never pretend to be human.
Oh, that's important.
Crucial. It will always say it's an AI, and it explicitly states it can't replace real human relationships, community, or pastoral care. If you ask it, are you real? It'll say something like, I'm an AI assistant here to help you explore faith from a biblical view, but I'm not human.
Prevents unhealthy reliance.
Exactly. And practically, there's prohibited content. It won't help with anything illegal, abusive, deceptive, unethical. Simple as that.
And data, always a worry.
Huge worry. So data privacy is paramount. They commit to not storing, recalling, or misusing sensitive user data. Conversations are treated as confidential. No profiling, no ad targeting. It's meant to be a safe space.
That's reassuring.
And finally, limitations and referrals. Logostic knows its limits. If a question is ethically tricky or outside its scope, it won't just guess.
What does it do?
It'll suggest safe, Christ-honoring next steps. Maybe prayer, maybe talking to a trusted Christian advisor. It will absolutely decline clinical questions, medical, legal, psychological stuff, and point you to human professionals.
So it stays in its lane?
Very much so. And it always encourages deeper engagement with the Bible, with community, with a prayer. It never tries to take the place of the church or real human fellowship. It's a guide, a helper, not a replacement.
That framework for Logostic sounds incredibly thought through, very robust.
It is. They've clearly put a lot of effort into the ethical guardrails.
Now, the other side of this partnership is the Apologist project. You mentioned they focus more on evangelism with their AI, Aquinas.
That's right. Aquinas is built on a foundation of carefully selected apologetics content, high-quality stuff from ministry partners they trust.
Apologetics meaning?
Basically, reasoned arguments and defenses of the Christian faith. Their whole strategy is meet them where they are. Use modern, appealing digital tools to present God's truth, especially to non-believers.
Addressing that information overload and maybe lack of knowledge we talked about earlier?
Exactly. It puts answers to tough faith questions directly into people's hands or, onto their screens in a format that feels current and accessible.
And they've gotten some serious recognition for this, haven't they? Didn't they win at #HACK 2024?
They did. Overall winner there, and they also got second place for Best in Challenge at the AI and the Church Hackathon.
Man.
So, yeah, significant validation from within the tech and ministry space.
What did people say about it?
Well, one powerful review highlighted its potential for reaching Muslims, for example. People seeking truth who maybe can't ask questions openly in their community. Aquinas gives them a private way to explore.
Wow.
Judges praise the mix of technical skill with real cultural and religious sensitivity. They saw its immediate kingdom value, something ready to make a difference right away, potentially opening doors for faith conversations in hard-to-reach places. It's seen as a real tool for digital outreach.
And technically, they make it easy to integrate. API integrations, embedding on websites.
Yeah, they offer powerful Christian evangelism LLM API integrations. That just means ministries can easily plug Aquinas' brain, so to speak, into their own websites or apps. And yes, you can embed the AI agent directly. Very flexible.
Making it accessible for ministries.
And importantly, just like WordUp, they have a strong privacy stance. We will never sell or share your data. That ethical alignment is key.
Okay, so let's get to the core here. This new partnership, WordUp and the Apologist project are bringing Logostics and Aquinas together. What does that actually look like? What's the synergy?
This is where it gets really interesting. The synergy is, well, powerful. Think about the problem. Lots of AI out there is incredibly capable, but maybe lacks a moral compass, right? Especially around sensitive things like faith. Or maybe it just optimizes for keeping you hooked, not for your actual well-being.
Right, the engagement track.
Exactly. This partnership tackles that head-on. It combines Logostic's ethical framework, that's safe, biblically grounded guidance focused on spiritual growth, with Aquinas' deep library of targeted evangelism and apologetics content.
So you get the ethics and the specific content.
Precisely. So imagine someone online, maybe wrestling with doubt or a personal crisis, asking a tough question about God. Logostic's DNA ensures the interaction is compassionate, respects their dignity, and points towards real support.
Like prayer or community.
Right. And the Aquinas provides the robust, biblically sound answers and apologetics to address the actual substance of their question, all within that safe Christian worldview.
So it's not just information and it's not just ethics, it's both working together.
It's that blend. Robust evangelism combined with deeply ethical care. That's what's potentially groundbreaking here. An AI experience that's trustworthy, biblically sound, and effective at delivering specific answers for seekers.
So the overall impact, It's aimed at boosting what both groups are trying to do, spreading Christian teachings, helping spiritual growth, but using AI.
Yes, enhancing the scope, the effectiveness.
Yeah.
And for you, the listener, the idea is this integration provides a really solid, safe digital path for exploring faith or sharing it. It directly tackles those trends we started with the online shift, the need for accessible answers.
It really does sound innovative, but it brings up practical questions too, like how do people actually access these tools and how is it sustainable? Is it all free?
Good question. WordUp is very clear about having a mission-first approach. So the core WordUp, apps and resources, they're free.
Maximizing reach.
Exactly. Keep the barrier to entry low.
Right.
But they do have paid options for ministries or organizations who want to do more.
Like what?
Well, there's white label branding. A ministry could put their own brand on an app, but WordUp keeps control of the core ethics and safety. That's a one-time fee, pretty reasonable, like $50 to $150.
So the DNA stays intact.
Always. Then there's Remix ownership, full customization. That gives full ownership, editing rights, even optional training. That's a higher one-time fee, maybe $150 to $400.
Still seems quite accessible for organizations.
They really emphasize that. And they offer Kingdom Impact discounts if there's financial need. Accessibility is clearly a priority over just making money.
And no ads or selling data.
Absolutely not. They state very clearly, privacy and safety are never for sale.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. We've gone through the need, introduced Logostic's the ethical ambassador, Aquinas, the evangelism engine, and now how they're partnering up. It's quite a journey into AI and faith.
It really is. And looking at the bigger picture, this partnership between WordUp and the Apologist project, it feels like a really thoughtful step forward for Christian ministry in the digital age.
An evolution, maybe?
Yeah, an evolution.
Yeah.
Using AI's power not to replace the human element, not to replace the church, but to complement it, to extend the reach of evangelism and education.
Especially for those harder to reach groups.
Exactly. People who are geographically isolated, or maybe just more comfortable exploring online first. It's truly meeting people where they are, but with tools designed carefully around their spiritual journey and safety.
It's less about just building tech and more about building, well, bridges using tech.
That's a good way to put it. Building bridges.
And it makes you think about what comes next.
It does. You can see how these tools could reach individuals who might, for whatever reason, never enter a physical church building, offering that private, safe space for big questions.
And helping ministries scale their outreach, too.
In ways that were probably unimaginable just a few years ago.
Which kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How might this kind of ethically designed AI, really guided by clear spiritual and moral rules, continue to change how people connect with faith, with spiritual truth, with community, especially online?
Yeah, what new doors does this open? For people searching, but also for those wanting to share their faith in this massive digital world.
It feels like the conversation is really just getting started. Definitely something we'll be keeping an eye on.